I just called them.
Good evening, everyone. Are we on?
Yeah, you are on.
This is Wednesday, May 10th, 2023 at 6:32, and I call the Aberdeen City Council meeting to order. Do we have a roll call vote, please? Or a roll call, please?
Councilmember Ellis.
Yes.
Councilmember Francie.
Here.
Councilmember Gaken.
Here.
Councilmember Catchman.
Here.
Councilmember Lawrence.
Here.
Councilmember Mackey. Is he on the screen? I don't see Councilmember Morrison.
Here.
Councilmember Perricini.
Here.
Councilmember Ross.
Here.
Councilmember Shaw.
Here.
Councilmember Sedor.
Here.
Councilmember Taylor.
Here.
Mayor Shave.
Here.
For Councilmember Morrison, will you see if he's just in like the audience?
Mackey is not.
Okay, I make a motion that we excuse Councilmember Mackey.
I second it.
Motion was made and seconded to excuse Councilmember Mackey. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Violet Morrison, will you lead us in flag salute, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We approve tonight's agenda.
Second it.
Motion was made and seconded to approve the agenda. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving next to the public comment period. Anyone from the public wish to comment on any subject? Come up to the podium, please. Would you please, for the record, state your name and ward that or where you live?
Yes, my name's Larry Murray. I'm in Ward 1. And my issue is back when we had the homeless, is that there was an ordinance for 3 months. Okay? The CAP office has had the homeless in their parking area for, 9 months or more? And stuff, and I'm just wondering why you guys aren't enforcing the homeless not to camp down in their parking area, in the garage area.
I don't believe that they're camping in the garage area of the CAP office. The CAP provides services that allows them to go into the area and to meet with their caseworkers. They have televisions and different types of technology set up down there for them to meet with caseworkers.
Okay, because every time I've driven by there, there's tents put up down in the parking area.
I have not seen it. I have not seen any tents in the CAP parking area.
Okay, I guess I will.
I can definitely follow up with CAP on that.
I will end up talking to them and taking pictures.
Yeah, I'll follow up with CAP as well and talk to Craig.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, moving on to the consent agenda.
Yeah, on tonight's consent agenda, we have minutes from our April 26th meeting, our accounts payable and payroll, and then the homeless expense report for the month of April, which includes expenses of just a little bit over $12,000. I move that we accept the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion was made and seconded to accept the consent agenda. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Any presentations tonight? None?
There are no presentations.
Thank you. Let's move to the mayor's report. As I did before, I just threw together a quick list. And it's so different now because, in case you guys didn't know, we have a city administrator. She's really taken on a lot of the stuff I used to do. So since the last council meeting, I've met with this, I meet with the city administrator every Monday morning. And every Tuesday, the first Tuesday of the month, I meet with all the staff. I've been out visiting more often. I was just recently at the Nirvana coffee shop. I don't know if anybody got pictures, but our good friend, Will Rasul, how do you say his name? He took some pictures of me goofing around in there, put them on Facebook. So it's kind of funny. But it was good for the downtown, good for the community. You get out and do some of that kind of stuff. I attended emergency management meeting with Grace Harbor Health Department. I made a trip up to Seattle and back, pick up my sister from the airport. And that wasn't bad, believe it or not. The traffic was not bad at all. I usually spend some part of every day in the office. I take phone calls and answer emails. I probably get anywhere from 40 to 100 emails every day. And then usually the light's blinking on the phone. So there's a few phone messages as well. Let's see. I went to the mayor's prayer breakfast last Thursday, which was very good. We had a great breakfast sponsored by the Ocean Shores. Oh golly,
Ocean Beach Roasters?
Ocean Beach Roasters.
I was gonna remember who that was.
Is it Ocean Beach Roasters?
I don't think so. Anyway, that was a real good little time there. But been, as I said, walking around downtown visiting more and more. Went to Game Freaks and bought my grandson a birthday present the other day. They were who I picked up in Seattle. It's his birthday, May the 5th, or May the 4th. Be with you. That's what he tells me all the time. So I got his birthday present there at Game Freaks, and man, what a store! That whole building looks so good. What else did I do? I met a couple of times with Commissioner Pine, discussing our ventures into finding the place to go. And we're still working on that. At Transit Board meeting, and today I listened into the Regional Transit Board meeting, saw some names I recognized. We're also there. And tomorrow I do the radios. Oh, and next week we're doing finance director interviews. So anyway, that's about it. A couple little things here. Keeps me busy. So that's my report. Council reports. Anything from the council? Go ahead, Deanne.
I must have been distracted when we approved the agenda because there was something Public Works wanted to add to the agenda. So I'd like to add something under council reports. Everybody, all the council members, this came up at our Public Works Committee meeting yesterday. We had a presentation from the Twin Harbors Waterkeepers, and they are applying for a grant to the Department of Ecology to do some public education and outreach on water quality. And so there's a deadline this week, and Public Works Committee is recommending that we support their grant application to the Department of Ecology, and I would move that we add that to the agenda.
Second.
Motion was made seconded to add this water quality grant review to the agenda. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll add that to the Public Works portion of the agenda.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mayor Shea?
Yes.
I was going to share with the council the meeting that we were at, a report from the Southwest Washington Regional Transportation Planning Office.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah, well, it doesn't really have a name, it's just, that's the acronym.
SWRTPO or something
yeah,
like that's
but
what
we-
was.
We did attend the meeting today via Zoom, and a couple highlights from the meeting was that the State Scenic Byway was funded for a corridor management plan, and that's SR 105, and it runs from Aberdeen to Raymond, but like the long way through, was it like Grayland
Yes.
and whatnot. So everyone was very excited about that because it highlights some of the scenic aspects, and that it really helps the state understand that it's an important highway system for our region. So we're going to be getting some money through that organization to do that corridor management plan to make sure that it's there for years to come. And then Kyle Fisher joined the line, and he made the city of Aberdeen look very good. He brought one slide to talk about the Sumner Avenue sidewalk improvements that are being done, and that's through a grant from SWRTPO. And I was just going to highlight a few things about that project, but construction for it is going to begin in 2025, and it's Sumner Avenue, which it runs west towards Hoquiam on those one ways, and I think it starts at Williams and goes to Myrtle.
That's
I want to
correct.
say. Yeah, so it's going to be a really great project, but he had highlighted that it's 5,000 linear feet of project length and 2,700 linear feet of new sidewalk. So it was very cool to see him on here on the call, and he did a very good job representing us. So thanks to Kyle for being on there.
Thank you for that report. Any other council report?
I have two. I went to the health fair at the Y and ran into the Blue Zone coordinator and got his email, and we've been starting to communicate and see where both of our interests lie and see where they overlap. And I have another thing. As part of the council's goal to have a vibrant, safe, and healthy community, I motion to authorize the city administrator to look into the cost of putting together cleanup kits for the purpose of giving the community tools to assist in keeping keeping Aberdeen clean.
A motion was made, seconded to have the city put together cleanup kits for groups and individuals to be able to go do cleanup projects.
Yeah, kind of a kit that they could check out.
Okay.
Point of clarification. My understanding, as I understood the motion, was to have the city administrator look into the costs of doing so.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Okay, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Happy to do it.
Last time we did something of that nature, we got those handheld sticks with the pincher on the end and garbage bags. That was actually what it consisted of. I don't know if there's more
Sounds like just a
needed.
few $100.
Yeah, we
Do
may
you
want
think
to,
council to
include,
Action that?
yeah, we may want to include vests and gloves as well.
Oh, very good.
Sanitizer,
Yeah, something like that. Hazmat.
maybe the possibility of a broom and dustpan or something like that.
Yeah.
A wagon or a trash can on wheels would be a good idea too. Some of the wagon or trash can.
Dump truck.
A dump truck.
We got, I can do that for you, so.
Okay, thank you. Any other
I'll
council?
put together, I'll work with you and put together a package of like stuff that you would like to see included in that.
Great,
Okay?
thank you.
All right, cool.
Anything else from the council? Councilmember Ellis?
Yeah, I was on a road trip for a few weeks traveling around the country to see parts of the world outside of Grays Harbor, and it's mighty good to be back home. But I heard throughout our trip of how the weather is so unusual, and people were experiencing record temperatures, record snowpack, record all kinds of things, the first this, the first that. I know we're in for a warm weekend coming up, and what I've seen of the predictions for the summer is that we could see those really high temperatures coming back, like in the 90s and hundreds that we experienced a couple years ago. And want us to think about, we had a 1-day cooling shelter option for people, and I think that's a really good idea. And if we could get that ball rolling so that that's set up if we need it, whether it's at the senior center or somewhere else, and that would be really helpful. And the other thing that I heard from a couple of years ago was that people who live in housing that they don't have the ability to cool down would also require transportation to get to our cooling shelters.
Thank you. Anyone else? Go ahead.
That cooling shelters are a heck of a good idea. I know when we had that high temperature, my heat pump quit working that weekend, and I ended up down there with the mayor, and it saved my life. It was unbearable.
Yeah, I spent the whole time down there, so I'm thinking back, what heat? Yeah, I could bring it up with Cap. It might, we just, the last time we did that, it was real fortunate. We just happened to have a space that was open and available, and Cap helped make that happen. That space now is occupied. Back at the time that we needed it, it wasn't in use, and now it is, so we'll have to dig a little deeper, see what happens. And I suppose it's possible that that place might even be able to be made available for a couple of days, but we'll have to see. Okay, anyone else on the council reports? All right, we'll move on to staff reports. The city administrator.
Thank you, Mayor. I have submitted my report as part of the packet. It's been a really, really busy couple of weeks. Next week, this agenda is pretty thin, but next week's agenda will be very, very robust. And so be prepared to have a lot of discussion. We'll make sure we get that out early to you so you can look over a lot of the items. A lot of the items come from are a result of like the survey results or feedback that we've heard or things that we've been meaning to explore. So again, it's just discussion items for all of you to look at. I sent out an email before the council meeting. AWC, the Association of Washington Cities, is hosting a networking event. It's called Small City Connect, and it will be hosted in Cosmopolis. They kind of changed them around. So if you're interested in attending, please let me know. It's free to us. We are AWC members, and so I'm happy to sign any of you up who would like to attend. And just an update on our financials, our year-end financials. Tara Dunford, who is our kind of our interim, who's helping us out. She is working on that and finishing those up. Those are due at the end of the month, so just let you know that she is on track to submit those. And once we get those, I'll be able to bring those forward to all of you. And then we do have also a state auditor's exit conference scheduled for May 25th as well. We will bring that report to you as well once we get that in our hands. So in just kind of preliminarily speaking with them, we have been working really closely with them. So I'm really happy with the work that we've done to be able to fulfill a lot of the requirements during the audit period. They like that. And so it doesn't look like we're going to have any findings, but we will have some ways that they would like us to improve. So okay. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them.
Okay, thank you. Any of the directors have a report? Okay. I'll move on to request for council action, committee report from finance.
The Finance Committee has no report tonight.
Okay. A committee report from public safety.
Thank you, Mayor. So Public Safety met this evening at 6 p.m. and just two brief reports from each department. From the fire department, the call statistics for April included 461 incidents, year-to-date 2,065. This is running right along the same numbers as 2022. The homeless response data, the EMS responses were 29 for the month, fire responses were 8 for the month. Overdose response data for April was 23, for a total of 52 on the year. The fire department is offering or providing CPR and first aid training to all city employees, and they'll be doing that over the next couple of weeks. For staffing update, there are still 5 vacant positions, but firefighter Dale Max will start it this week, and another prospective employee will be starting within the next few weeks. And the Regional Fire Authority has failed, so the fire department will be evaluating its operational plan and be looking for ways to adjust our services to best meet the needs of our community. And from the fire department, we have a couple of things on the agenda tonight, which I'll bring up in a little bit. The committee agenda or other items where the activity report is 10,880 calls for 2023, tracking at 2021 levels. Our new real-time crime mapping software is now known as cityproject.com, and this is a site where you can follow the 911 calls in your neighborhood and just see what's been happening. And this week is National Police Week, and the police department would like to take a moment to think about those. We were fortunate to have known who passed away in the line of duty. Also under personnel, they had police officer Kobe Fall started on Monday, May 8th, and his academy has been moved up to begin next month, so he will be getting that out of the way soon. He's a 2020 graduate of Aberdeen High School, and they're conducting background and entry-level police officer candidates and have 2 additional candidates moving to the civil service entry level for the next civil service meeting. So at this time on the agenda, I have a request from Public Safety and the Chief of Police recommending that the City Council approve the request to surplus the 3 used Glock 17 handguns with loophole RDS and flashlight to Gunnerama to sell and transfer to retired officers. I move we adopt this report.
Motion was made and seconded to adopt this report. Is there any discussion? See none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And that's all for us at this time.
Thank you. Moving on to Public Works, Councilmember Shaw.
Thank you, Mayor. Public Works met yesterday. We have 2 items on the agenda. The first is a request from Public Works and the Public Works Director recommending that the City Council authorize the mayor to execute the Mal Foster Alonji MFA work order number 5 for the Fly Creek Restoration Project. I move we adopt this report.
Second.
Motion was made and seconded to adopt this report. Is there any discussion? Under discussion, has anybody been over to actually drive by the Fry Creek project? You can't even recognize that place. It's really happening over there. It's great. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The second item for Public Works was added to the agenda earlier, and it is a recommendation from Public Works that the mayor be authorized to sign a letter of support for Twin Harbors Waterkeepers application to the Department of Ecology for a public participation grant. I move we adopt this.
Second?
Motion was made, seconded to adopt this report. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And moving forward to special agenda items.
There are none tonight.
Okay. We have ordinances or resolutions.
I think the first one's mine. This is the first reading of Bill number 23-05, an ordinance making possession of legend drugs a gross misdemeanor in the city of Aberdeen. I move we adopt the first reading of this bill.
Motion was made and seconded to adopt the first reading. Any discussion? Under discussion.
Chief Green, I saw something in the news today that indicated that the legislature is or may be calling a special session to look at the issue. Do you know what might be being proposed? Is the likelihood of success? Should we hold off on our ordinance or just keep pushing it through, or?
Well, I'm not much of a gambler, so I kind of want to make sure we have something in our pocket in case they don't come to an agreement. It was the House version that didn't pass, so that means it goes back to the Senate to try to work out a compromise between the four different caucuses. So yeah, it starts on the 16th. They've been meeting beforehand, but we don't really have any idea. You know, initially on the last day of the legislative session, the governor had said that it was going to be a done deal, and a deal had been made, and that didn't happen. So I think it'd be prudent for us to at least have a bill in place in the event that the legislators do not pass something.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
So at our next meeting, we should do a public hearing.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the process for that is. Is that something the city clerk will take care of, or?
Yes, we'll publish it, and we'll send it to the Daily World tomorrow, and it'll be on the agenda as a hearing for that.
For the May 24th?
Yes, correct.
Thank you.
Okay. Item 2,
Mayor Shea?
yes.
Oh, no, it's not mine. I'm jumping the gun here.
I can take item 2.
Yeah.
I don't know if it went through finance or this resolution.
It did.
Okay, item number 2 is a resolution authorizing the use of electronic signature as defined in the electronic and digital signatures policy. I move that we accept this resolution.
Second.
Motion was made, seconded to approve this resolution. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
This will be resolution number 2023-14.
Okay. Item number 3,
Mayor Shea?
yes.
From Public Works, a resolution setting the date May 24, 2023 for a public hearing on the revised and extended 6-year transportation improvement plan for the years 2023 through 2029. I hope we adopt this resolution.
Second. Motion was made and seconded to adopt this resolution. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
This will be resolution number 2023-15.
Okay, and we don't have any contracts.
think we're ready to adjourn. I move we adjourn.
I would like to just say one more thing. This is Public Service Recognition Week. So just really would like to thank all the employees at the city, all of you for serving your communities. And so we've been I sent an email out just to kind of show what the staff are doing right now currently, to kind of show their just recognizing one another and why they chose public service. They can all work anywhere in the world and they choose to serve Aberdeen. So we're really grateful for that. So thank you all.
Absolutely, thank you.
Okay, I move to adjourn.
Second. Motion was made, seconded to adjourn. If there's no one opposes, I will call this meeting adjourned.